Here we have a Heatwagon heater. This is the HVF180 model, and the customer mailed over the controller board. We never worked on this board before, and how difficult can it be, right? We have 3 relays, some resistors, capacitors, diodes, not many components on back of the board, a PIC chip, and let's see what the customer wrote. Referral source, YouTube. Description. Fan, fuel pump, and igniter relays are being commanded on all the time, but at a reduced voltage coming from the transistors. Fan runs all the time, regardless of the on-off switch. On-off switch has no effect. Heater will not light. Board is obsolete and discontinued. So the customer mentioned something about fans being on all the time. On-off switch is not doing anything. And the board is obsolete and discontinued. So the customer cannot buy another board, and his only option would be to fix this board. Now, I do not know if there's anything else wrong with his unit other than this board, but on-off switch can indicate possibly a faulty relay. We have 3 SPDT relays here, and we can test them. We can measure if the relays are working. Let's go under the microscope. And if we look here, we have 3 relays operated at 24 volts, 1, 2, and 3. We have 2 components on the side of the board. We have a capacitor here. And not much going on this side of the board. If we flip the board, where are the relays? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's relay 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's relay 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's relay number 3. And the soldering on this board, the soldering job on this board, it's like somebody hand soldered this without flux. Look at the components. Look at how the solder blob on each component is different than the other. This is not machine soldering. How does this look to you? Look at the soldering on this component. Definitely not better than factory soldering. I mean, all the joints. Look at this joint here. Look at this joint here. Diodes, resistors, capacitors. Anyway, I want to measure those relays to make sure they are working. We're going to use NF.short. We can use it at 20 volts to inject voltage. Let me turn the unit on. NF.short can go up to 20 volts, so we're going to use it to inject voltage. And I want to hear a click on all 3 relays, but a click alone is not enough. We need to see if the click is actually working, not just the sound, but we need to measure to see if the switch is coming on. So the first relay, we can inject voltage. That's our ground, and let's see if we can hear a click. Yes, I do hear a click. The relay is clicking. What if we measure this one? This one is working too. How come the click on this one sounds different? This one sounds softer, like a softer click. What about this one? And this one is clicking. So all 3 relays are clicking. Now what happens when voltage is injected or when the relay receives voltage? What's going to happen is the line that's like this is going to switch over, and this pin is going to connect with this pin. When the relay has no voltage, the line is going to go back here, like this. So right now, if we measure from here to here, we should have a continuous path. And when we apply voltage, we should no longer have a continuous path from here to here, but rather we should have it from here to here. So again, it's like this, and it should switch like this when you apply voltage. And that's how relays work. meter in continuity mode, or we can put it in diode mode, or we can even put it in ohms mode if you do not want to hear a beep. Let's put it in continuity mode, and we're going to measure from here to here. You see? It's continuous. If we measure from here to here, we should not get a reading. It's OL. Let's do the same thing here. And we're going to do the same right here. Oh, from here. Okay. So far, so good. Now what I want to do is inject voltage and at the same time measure to see if we have a continuous path from here to here. How are we going to do this? I do not have 4 hands. Let's put the anti-glare light on. What I can do is maybe hold 2 probes with each hand. Or I can solder wires onto the joints and then we can use clips. Let me do this. I'm going to hold 2 probes per hand. You have to be Superman to do this. This is not for normal human beings. So relay number 1, the ground probe from my voltage injection tool goes here. And the other ground probe goes right there. And now we need to place our multimeter probe right here. And we're going to inject voltage right here. See? Again. So that means our coil is good. Let's jump over here. We're going to do the same thing. So I'm holding 2 probes per hand. And we're going to inject voltage. Let me place my probe right here. See? Second relay is good. And now we're going to go for the third one. And the relay is working. So what's happening is we are measuring if that line is switching over like this when we apply voltage. And that's why we get a beep when we measure from here to here. Right now, if I measure from here to here, we get OL because it's disconnected. Let me show you. If you measure from here to here, good. From here to here, no. When we apply voltage, then that line is going to switch over and we're going to have a continuous path from here to here. So we know all 3 relays are good. So why is the customer having issues with on and off? We inspected front of the board. Let's go over back of the board. With the way the joints are looking on this board, with the way soldering is looking on this board, it could be any one of the components, honestly. I do not see anything obvious. Maybe we can randomly measure resistors. We can quickly go over the measurements. We do not want to see OLs. We do not want to see anything in the mega ohms. And the value of each resistor is printed on the top. Okay, 1.1K. I'm just going to quickly go over them without wasting time. 10K, 29.9, 21.9K, and we are measuring in circuits, so just an estimate. If the value is lower, that's okay, as long as we do not get readings in the mega ohms or a very high reading or OL. Wait a minute, am I getting OL here? No, I had to press harder. This is an inductor right here. Okay, we're good. One more time. We are good. 4.2K. And here we have, okay. The board is not stable. It's sitting on the relays, so that's why it's going in and out of focus. Let me measure capacitors randomly. We do not want to have a beep. We do not want to have a short on any one of the caps. Let's go to diode mode. 0.79. And if we flip the probes, we have a different reading, 0.4, 1.3, and we have 0.5, 0.79, and we have 0.5. Basically, I'm going over every component on the board, and nothing stands out as being faulty. So we have 0.56, we have 1.3, flip the probes, 0.57, 0.57, 1.3, flip the probe, 0.57, 1.3, 1.3, the diodes are good. The problem may not be the board to begin with. Can we have working relays that fail under load? We tested the relays. Holy moly, look at this. Look at this, do you see it? I see a blown chip here, right? 1HW64. Look at this 1HW, the W is gone. We have a hole here. We have a hole. That's the problem. What is 1HW64? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up. If you know what that chip is, leave it down in the comments. But that may be our issue. Nothing else is testing faulty, but we do see a blown chip. It's cracked, right? And it looks like we have more than one HW chip. One here, one here, one here, one here. Maybe it's a gate, but I'm gonna have to look it up. So we're done, right? We are done. All we have to do is replace the chip and send it back to the customer. There's nothing else that I can do on this board, and I cannot troubleshoot his unit. So we're gonna fix what I see wrong on this board, deem it a fix, invoice, and mail it back to the customer. Short video. What can you do? We're gonna end the video right here. If you know what that chip is, leave it down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll do something else in the next video.